What if your connection to the spirit world was closer than you think? What if your unique way of seeing the world is the key to connecting the two worlds? Welcome to a Sanctuary for the Soul podcast. Join us as we delve into the heart of spiritual development, from the practical guidance and mediumship to the best way to live a heart-based life.
We are here to facilitate healing, awaken your intuition, and help you navigate your path with confidence. Speaking from our own deep journeys, we've learned to experience the world and the spirit world with a unique sensitivity. This is our space to share that perspective with you. Let's explore the connection together. Hi,
You go.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So, we had the first session of our diploma this weekend, didn't we?
We did indeed. 'Twas a wonderful time. A wonderful time was had by all. Well, at least I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. And we started, didn't we, with I personally, and I think you probably share this, but I'll let you speak for yourself.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
I personally feel that
Personally.
one of the most important things in spirituality, healing, or
Yes.
even incarnating. And we started,
Incarnating, not to be confused with carnation, the milk.
is what we started, the topic that I'm about to mention is what we started with on the diploma, and that is getting to know ourselves.
Getting to know ourselves. Do we need to?
What do you think?
Well, I'm asking you. Do you think we need to get to know ourselves? And if so, why?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm slightly obsessed about the topic, being a psychologist and, doing what I do. Yeah, I think it's really important so that we can strive, if that's the right word, to be the best we can be during the time we're here.
How do we really define, Liz, that we've been the best that we can be? I mean, should it be a straightforward path? Should it be a varied path? Should it be one of ups and downs? Just ups, just downs? What does it matter? What if we just are not bothered at all? Do you think it actually makes a difference?
Honestly, yes.
In what way?
I think when we have a curiosity about our own motivations, beliefs, reasons, passions, I think when we have a curiosity about that and we own it, then generally we are able to live a more honest life, perhaps a little bit more in check, treat others with, the care and attention that we would want to be treated with, because we're aware of our own preconceptions and wounds, things like that.
Yeah, just having to think about it. I think when just my own reflection is when you're more mindful and you consider that every action has a reaction, and sometimes the actions that we take, whether they're verbal or physical, they will have consequences both for us and for those that we interact with. Who's responsible really for us navigating life in a way that allows us to grow, but also allows us to take responsibility for our behavior,
Yeah.
or our future? Are we meant to dissolve? Is dissolve the right word? Are we meant to devolve? That's it. the responsibility for our own soul's growth to other people or other beings or other philosophies? Or is this something that really only we can do? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I personally, again, feel, and, I don't think everyone should have the same view. Well, obviously,
Yeah.
but, I'll be
Yeah, but you've got to share it from your perspective
I
because that's
yeah,
what I want to know.
my perspective is that the connection I have to the spirit world, to my guides,
Yeah.
to, friends and family that I maintain contact with on the other side, I see their support and their love and their connection as guiding me back to myself and helping me to overcome things, beliefs, my own, I mean, who's the biggest problem in my life? Well, me most of the time, because it's like what I think, or the o- overthinking something, or the becoming um closed about something. And
Yeah.
I suppose I see that connection, that loving connection, as the support and supporting my learning to come back to myself and to do the best I can do with whatever is presented to me, rather than me feeling that they're going to do something that's going to radically change my life. I
Yeah.
I see their support there to help me overcome things that perhaps at a soul level I wanted to overcome.
Yeah.
Whether you believe that or not, the fact is, whilst we're here, we're presented with challenges all the time and opportunities to look at things within ourselves or heal things within our lives. And I see that link to the spirit world and the guides as being a supportive one to do all of these things.
Yeah. It makes a great deal of sense. And I think the thing that's really come into my mind as you speak about that, it seems like when we become like hyper focused on a very small aspect of our life or our emotions or our feelings, it seems like we can become very much blinkered, and we're only seeing a very, very minute part of the sky. I guess it's, like covering over one eye and then only looking through, the gap between two fingers with the other eye, and then expecting to see the whole beauty of the world. And you say, well, you can only see this tiny little sliver, between these very narrow parameters. Maybe, maybe spiritual growth, true spiritual growth, is being able to, in some way, become conscious of a much bigger picture, to see all of the different ways in which different aspects of your life interconnect, and to be able to see all of those things and to work out a way of embracing all of those things rather than seeing very specific, minute details that feel
Yeah,
important, but actually are a very narrow band kind of within your life. I think it's like saying the world is an awful place, and life is awful, and you base it upon a 30-minute news broadcast. And you say, well, this is my evidence for life being, a terrible proposition. This 30-minute broadcast is life. And that's how I'm going to filter my perception of the life that I lead. And And what if we could, rise up, hundreds of miles into the sky, and we could see and perceive everything all at once, and we could see actually all of the beautiful things, all of the acts of kindness, all of the respect for the land, all of the sense of spiritual growth through friendship and through support and through love and through charity and through all of the things that make people good people. If we could see all of that at once, we would look at it and go, well, yeah, there are aspects of life that are unpleasant, but let's just move away from that one thing and let's see all of the other thousand things that are happening at the same time that make you realize that life is a wonderful experience, and we don't have to experience everything at once. But if we realize that we do need to have a broad understanding to have a decent perspective,
Yeah.
then surely that's going to give us the opportunity to make decisions based upon sound judgment and sound experience and a lived experience. And I just wonder whether sometimes, in this spooky world that we're part of, do people devolve their responsibility for their own growth, their own awareness, self-awareness as much as anything? Do they devolve it to other people too readily? To other teachers,
Yeah.
to doctrines, to religions, to whatever you want to call it. Are we sometimes guilty of doing that?
Yeah.
And therefore the true growth, the opportunity for true growth gets missed because we're always looking for someone else to answer those fundamental questions about how do you become a better person. And it's not by reading a book that someone else has written. It's by thinking about the same questions that that person thought about to write the book.
Yeah.
And say, what does it mean to be spiritual? What does it mean to be kind? What does it mean to be loving? And don't listen to someone else's interpretation. You sit down and you think about it yourself, and then come back to me with an answer. And then when you do that, I know that that's you that is growing. You're not just repeating what someone else has said. I don't mean
Yeah.
that to sound ranty, but does it make sense what I'm saying, Liz?
Yeah. Well, it ties in with that idea, doesn't it? Of it's not what you do when you're around people necessarily.
Yeah,
It's what you think, what you do, what your intentions are, and how you care when nobody's watching. I know there's a
yeah.
much more eloquent way of saying it, but that's
Oh,
true spirituality, isn't it? And I think paying attention to the fact we all have um, a dark side or a shadow side, however you want to name it.
well, like
You,
Darth Vader.
yes,
Cool. Does
yeah,
that mean we're like, oh, so we're like Jedis?
yeah. But
Excellent. Can I be Obi-Wan? Oh, excellent. You could be
yeah,
like Princess Leia then.
I'm happy with that. Um, so yeah,
Oh,
we can't get away from that. But what we can do is befriend it, acknowledge it, realize that,
you want me to
there are.
befriend Darth Vader?
That is exactly what I think we need to do, is
My
become
goodness.
mates with our inner Darth Vader so that Darth Vader doesn't just go crazy, you know. There's more of a leash
Well, I don't
on.
know. I mean, Obi-Wan he'd probably disagree. He chopped him down with a lightsaber. That's not very nice, is it?
But I think this is the risk, isn't it, of
Hmm.
spirituality, that there's a common term that's used, isn't it? Spiritual bypassing. That
Okay.
there's this idea that I don't know, the guides or the methods or will change or radically change ourselves or our lives without actually going within and attending to the reality of what is happening for us at
Yeah.
any given time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like what they want is the red pill,
Yeah.
and to get all fluffy as well. And they go, it's okay because, my intergalactic, council of elders will sort all this out for me. I don't have to actually do anything about being a complete numbnut. I can get them to do it because, they guide me. Love and light.
Yeah. But the guides
I
are
roll.
the guides. The guides want us, yeah, to listen and learn. If you think
Yeah.
about when you're in trance and
Yes.
your beautiful, loving guides are talking and giving that
Yeah.
insight
Yeah.
and that information,
Yeah.
it's always on how we can feel better, be better, y- grow, develop.
Yeah.
So what does that tell us? That's what they're supporting us to do.
It really does. Here's it's a serious um, comment, but I have never known the guides to ever speak to anyone and speak to them with a sense of exclusion. And so I've always known them to speak in a way that is inclusive, that is supportive, that is uplifting, that is something whereby their words are there to help you grow, to help you know how very much you're loved, to help you know that there is a team of guiding influences that will present themselves in a way that culturally you feel happy with. Um, and and I know by the feeling that I get when I make that connection that there is no sense of judgment. All right. That's a very human thing, to have judgment. We all do it. Of course, we're
Yeah.
guilty of it because if we weren't, then why would we have bothered coming here in the first place? Because, we've dealt with, that drama that, maybe follows us around at times. Um, but I've never known a guy to chastise someone, or I've never known my guys to chastise them or to criticize them or belittle them in any way. And for me, that displays a very important distinction. And that is that the essence of unconditional love is that I love you no matter what. And it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter the mistakes you make. I, as a guide, love you no matter what. And I think if there is one lesson that I think the spirit world would say to us and say, Andy, this is why you're here, it is to learn not the ethos, I don't know the right way of saying this, but is to learn to have a mindset that is encompassing everything that is good, everything that is loving, and everything that is supportive. And do it for yourself first, and then do it for other people.
Yeah.
Because as you raise people up, you spiritualize yourself.
Yeah.
All right. And so
Exactly
you
that.
don't say to my intergalactic stellar guardians of the council of Lord knows what, you don't say to them, oh make me, help me ascend, help me become a better person. I would say, no, you do it yourself. You put the work in, you do it, and stop devolving your responsibility to your imaginary friends and saying that it's all down to them because they'll sort it all out for me. No, you get off your backside and you do the work yourself because you're here to live your life.
Yeah.
You
And
don't say that this is your guy's job to do it for you.
and never ever will they tell us what to do.
No.
They'll always advise, support,
Yeah.
and guide,
Yeah, absolutely.
but they want us to live our lives fully. We're
Yeah.
not under their management. You know, they literally are there to guide us back to ourselves.
Yeah, completely. You know, some of the channeling, I will use that term very loosely. Some of the channeling about what these alleged higher beings, they allegedly say. I listen to that and I think that is as blatant as the nose on your face, that you are fantasizing and making stuff up literally in the moment, and there's no spiritual essence to what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
And
we
you,
feel
you, f-
it.
what I feel is emptiness.
Yeah.
I
You,
feel it, and then I feel disappointment because I think you're trying to convince me that in some way I am listening to some sort of exalted being, and it's always from a place that you've never heard of. They've always got a
yeah.
background that cannot be proven in any way. And I just think, isn't that interesting? There is literally no way that we could ever verify that this exalted being is anything other than a figment of your imagination. And yet we've got a get out of jail free card. So what we can do is we can go, how do I feel? How do I feel when this being is sharing their wisdom? And if there is no spiritual essence, then we know it is just quite a fanciful imagining on behalf of the person that's deluding themselves.
So, what would you say
I'd
to
say not to do it.
somebody? Yeah, I know that, but what
Mm,
would you say
yeah,
to people who maybe are new to the idea of channeling trance, whatever, however it
sure,
takes
sure.
form? What
Yeah.
would you say in terms of, so say actually, I would like to, for the first time, go along and experience this this form of mediumship.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know, is this going to do me any good? What do I need to think about?
We need to have an understanding of what qualifies it as being genuine trance or genuine, I don't like this term, but channeling for a lot of those stateside, it's the word that they use. What I would say is there are the most beautiful, spiritual, uplifted, just beyond loving energies that are not of this planet. All right. So we're not saying that if you're not of this planet, then it's not genuine, because that nothing could be further from the truth. And I've experienced the most beautiful philosophy and wisdom from those that never have set foot on this planet. And equally, there's been, the well-spoken gentleman, that is allegedly of some sort of, wonderful background from Earth. And it's just been a complete load of hogwash. And you listen to it and you think, now, how do I know that it's something beautiful? I feel it. Okay. The connection between the medium and the spiritual being, that in itself spiritualizes that space that you're in. All right. And even if they're not in the room with you, they spiritualize that space. You feel it.
Yeah.
Your heart reacts to it. Your emotions get fired up. And you sit there and you watch it and you listen to it and you feel it. And you may say to yourself, I do not know how this is happening, but I feel that it is happening. And so I have an understanding of how the process works, and go into it with an open mind, because I think if we go into it with a very skeptical mind, we can interfere with its potential, with its the efficacy of it, by having a mindset that's not supportive. But you can go into that experience as a complete beginner. And if you're just listening, you can have the most moving, the most heartwarming, positive experience with another worldly being. And it has to come down to the essence, the presence of the spiritual energy. All right. You will know when you're in the presence of something that is genuine
Yeah.
because you'll feel it. It'll feel like someone has put their heart into your, sorry, put their hand into your chest and given your heart a little squeeze. And you think to yourself, wow, I felt that. I know that there was something genuine. And on the other hand, there can be times where if someone is shouting a lot prior to it about how amazing their guide is and how this, that, and the other their guide is, that for me is a bit of a red flag. Because if you are doing the preamble and saying about how amazing this is going to be, then you're not letting them do the talking themselves. You're kind of trying to convince me before I listen to it and find out that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
So it really comes back to that idea, doesn't it? That truth is felt.
Big time.
So it's
100%.
we've talked many times about authenticity,
Yeah. Mm.
authentic relationships,
Yep.
and it's no different to listening or participating or being in the presence of somebody entranced, is it?
Absolutely. It's energy, isn't it, Liz? It speaks to you. But sometimes you meet someone in life and you just think, where have they been? Why is it taking me all this time to meet this person? Because in their presence, you just think to yourself, something wonderful has just happened. I don't know why it's happened, but it has. I don't know how to explain it, but it has. And there it is. And sometimes you meet people and you go, oh, okay, very forgettable. And you move on to live another day. Um, but sometimes there's just that energetic essence to someone that just means you think, yeah, there it is.
I just remembered that lovely saying. I won't say it right, but it goes something like, you'll forget what people said to you, but you'll never forget how they made you feel.
Mm, I've not heard that.
Someone will say it correctly. I've not said it, but yeah. So you might not remember somebody's words, but it's interesting, isn't it? Because you never really forget how you felt in their presence.
Yeah, yeah. When I mean, Lord knows, from a very personal perspective, the way in which a word can be an opportunity for growth, or it can feel like a bomb going off in your heart. There's a real power to words, isn't there? And I think we have to realize that that real power exists with the connection to the spirit world and the words that they share and and the way in which you touch someone's heart. If you're going to open your mouth, say something really nice.
And when you say it
Say it with
from the
love.
heart. Yeah,
Say it with love because
because
the
it's
the
felt.
exactly, Liz. It is felt. So when you say to someone, I am going to do everything in my power to help you become better. And
Yeah,
when you say it with a sense of conviction, a sense of love, that person, they know that you've just said something that you mean.
yeah. And
Whereas,
then they're halfway there purely
absolutely.
because that trust is gained, that feeling of,
Yeah,
wow, somebody really cares.
absolutely. And this is how we like to work. Because if I said, oh, Liz, I'll do anything I can to help, that sounds hollow. It sounds like a platitude, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Whereas,
well, you and I would basically be on the bike halfway down the road.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, the door is shut and there is a smoke trail behind me. Um,
Yeah.
but I think there's nothing worse than someone that feels inauthentic, that claims to be authentic. And I just want someone to be that person that is going to genuinely look at you and think to themselves, right, how can I help this man, this woman to move forward? What is it that I can do that is going to give them that sense of belief, that sense of confidence? What's the question? Or what's the answer that I need to help them find? Not not to tell them, but how can I help them find the answer to that question that's going on in their mind?
So, if you were to give someone 3 tips of how to live spiritually without escaping reality, what would they be?
Oh my goodness. Self-reflection with deep honesty.
Yeah.
Self-reflection with deep honesty would be the first thing, because sometimes there's aspects to our character, our personality that, to be honest, we need to work on. All right. So
Mm,
I'm no different. There's times where I might have a paddy and just,
I love that word,
scream at the moon and,
fuddy.
decide that it's, everyone else's fault. All right. And then you have to then equally have that moment of self-reflection where you go, someone might say to you, so it could be you, and you could say, Andy, I think with the benefit of hindsight, what you should think about is this. And I think you have to be big enough to say, okay, no, I think you got a point, actually. Yeah, you can't just fight against, the truth, especially if it's said from a place of love. So
Yeah,
be honest and be willing to accept criticism that is going to help you grow. That
mm,
is not critical for the sake of being critical, but it is there to actually hold a mirror up to you in a way and say, Andy, this is actually what's going on. Look in the mirror and just see the truth of the situation.
yeah,
Don't just see what you think you want to see. Um, that's the first one.
definitely.
My goodness.
100%.
What was the question? Right.
How to live spiritually without getting out of reality.
Second one is difficult, but my gut instinct is to accept that the issues that you feel are important aren't probably half as important as you think they are.
Yeah.
And the dreams and aspirations that you have aren't a half as far away as you think they are.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because in my experience, I might catastrophize about how bad a situation is. And the reality is, it's nowhere near as bad as I think it is. And
No.
yet sometimes where we have hopes and dreams and we want to
Mm,
achieve stuff in life and we think they are so far away,
they're not.
but they're really not. They are a thought process away. They are maybe a word of encouragement away. They are maybe just an idea away. And it may
Yeah,
be someone else has given you that idea, but they're not as far away as you think they are. What would be the third way of living an authentic life?
yeah, spiritually, but not escaping reality.
It's really difficult. I try to, because there's aspects that fit into one part of that answer, and then there's aspects that fit into another. Remember that your spirit friends are there to be part of your life, not to be your life.
Yeah, or to be your management.
Exactly. So I think this work with the spirit world, love it, just love it, and
It's
embrace
the
it, and
best.
and and remember that they're there to be part of your journey, but
Yes.
they are not there to place every foot down for you.
No.
They're there to stand at the side, maybe to stand at the sidelines with your name on a banner and go Andy, go Liz. We're here for you. But you take the next step yourself,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So do not devolve the responsibility for your own life to the spirit world, to other
No.
people,
No.
because when you achieve those goals, when you get to those places that you've dreamt of getting to, you are then going to love and you are going to acknowledge and appreciate what it means because you have done the work yourself.
Because you got there.
You did it.
And why else have we come here than to actually fully
Yeah.
live our lives?
This is it. It doesn't make sense. So when you've taken those steps, when you've made those difficult decisions, you are going to appreciate that because you're going to think, actually, I had that moment of fear, but I did it anyway. not
That
not
is
my
so
spirit
funny.
friend. My spirit friend made me choose, and therefore I guess we kind of done it together. No, you put your big boy pants on and you bloody do it yourself.
Yeah, love it.
Make sense? That was a bit deep.
I think, yeah, I think that will spark a few things, won't it? Think about things, maybe. And we'd
Maybe.
love to hear any reflections.
Yeah, as long as they're good.
Yeah, only if they're positive.
No, but look, thank you so much, to, the folks that take the time to listen. And, we
Yeah.
hope in some way that we can uplift you, make you laugh,
Mm.
make you think, do all of those things that, people do. And, we're not perfect. We're just kind of finding our way. But, one thing I do want to mention is it's not going to be
Yes.
too long until we run our next weekend at Warham in Norfolk. So,
Yes.
folks, if you are on this side of the pond, or even if you're not, and if you just want to come over for a weekend, then
Yeah.
why don't you get in contact with us? And we're going to be working with aspects of the shamanic path and altered states and trance and healing and Lord knows what else, because we'll be inspired in the moment. We'd love to see you on the 21st and 22nd.
I think it is, yes.
21st and 22nd of February. It's a
Yes.
Saturday and a Sunday. It's at Warham in North Norfolk. So
Yeah.
if you would like one of the very few places left, we would love to see you. So if you want to email us, you can get in contact, which is a sanctuary for the soul 777 at gmail.com. A sanctuary for the soul 777 at gmail.com.
And feel free to join us, even if you have no experience at all, or if you have
Absolutely.
loads of experience.
Yeah,
It's open to all.
absolutely. So come and join us, express and embrace your weirdness. You know you want to. Liz, I will see you soon.
See you soon. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
See ya.